Tomato plants were never meant to stand upright like fence posts. That single misunderstanding has cost gardeners decades of lost yield. Long before commercial fertilizers and rigid staking systems became the norm, Soviet agronomists focused on one simple truth modern gardening forgot. Tomatoes want to crawl, root, and spread underground before they ever think about fruit. When this truth was respected, yields exploded without chemicals, extra feeding, or constant pruning. The method still works today, and once you understand it, you will never plant tomatoes the same way again. Why Soviet growers ignored vertical planting? Soviet agricultural research focused on reliability, not appearance. Vertical tomato planting looked tidy but produced fragile root systems. Researchers noticed that tomatoes grown naturally along the ground developed thicker stems, deeper root networks, and heavier fruit loads. Instead of forcing plants upward early, they allowed the stem to become a root factory, the buried stem principle that changes everything. Tomatoes are one of the few plants capable of producing roots along their entire stem. Every tiny hair on a tomato stem can become a nutrient-absorbing root if buried. Soviet growers exploited this trait by planting tomatoes horizontally instead of vertically. The result was not a longer plant, but a wider underground system capable of supporting far more fruit. So, how does horizontal planting actually work? Instead of digging a deep hole, a shallow trench is created. The tomato seedling is laid sideways with only the top leaves exposed above the soil. The buried stem quickly forms roots along its entire length. Within just a few weeks, the plant operates like multiple plants sharing one crown. Water uptake increases, nutrient access improves, and drought stress drops dramatically. So, why does this method actually produce thicker stems? Well, plants with larger root systems just naturally build stronger stems. Soviet researchers, they observed that tomatoes planted horizontally developed stems thick enough to support fruit without the need for heavy staking. Now, let's talk about why early leaf removal really matters. Before planting horizontally, lower leaves are removed from the stem. This step prevents decay underground and directs energy toward root formation instead of just leaf maintenance. Once buried, the stem becomes a nutrient highway rather than a liability. So, how does soil contact replace fertilizer dependence? Well, because those buried stems form extensive roots, the plants can mine nutrients from a much larger soil volume. This, in turn, reduces dependence on heavy feeding schedules. A light biological feed is sufficient. Just mix 1 tablespoon of unsulfured molasses into 4 liters of water and apply lightly once every 3 weeks. This feeds soil microbes, not the plant directly, keeping growth balanced. Why did Soviet tomatoes resist disease better? Well, stronger roots mean better immunity. Plants under stress tend to invite disease. When tomatoes are planted horizontally, they experience less water fluctuation, better mineral balance, and fewer stress signals. This results in fewer fungal problems and more consistent growth through the season. The forgotten role of side shoots is honestly pretty fascinating. Modern advice often pushes for aggressive pruning, but Soviet methods allowed select side shoots to touch the soil and root as secondary feeders. These shoots became support systems rather than competitors. Instead of removing growth, they multiplied the plant's capacity quietly underground. So, let's talk about how this method actually handles heat and drought. Large root systems really help buffer temperature swings. When the surface soil heats up or dries out, those deeper roots just keep supplying water. Horizontally planted tomatoes, they stay productive even when upright plants basically shut down. This resilience made the method valuable in unpredictable climates. But why did this approach disappear? Well, commercial agriculture tends to favor uniformity, machines, and speed. Horizontal planting just takes more thought, and honestly, it can't be standardized all that easily. Fertilizer programs ended up replacing biological design. Home gardeners inherited those shortcuts without realizing what was lost. Adapting the method for modern gardens is actually pretty simple. The principle remains the same. You dig shallow trenches, remove the lower leaves, lay the plant sideways, and cover the stem with loose soil. Then, just water thoroughly after planting and mulch lightly to protect moisture. So, what do harvests look like when they're done correctly? Well, plants actually produce more fruit over a longer period, instead of just giving you an early burst and then, declining. Tomatoes ripen more evenly and keep their full flavor, all because the nutrient flow stays balanced. This really isn't about forcing growth at all. It's about, unlocking what tomatoes already know how to do. Here's why this method fits so well with soil-first gardening. Horizontal planting actually lines up with the way natural soil systems work. It rewards biological activity, keeps stress low, and even reduces how much you need to add. Honestly, it's quiet, efficient, and just plain reliable. That's why it worked back then, and why, honestly, it still works today. If this guide helped you see tomatoes in a new way, go ahead and subscribe to Nature's Blueprint. Share this with a gardener who's struggling with weak plants, and help bring back some of that forgotten wisdom that still feeds gardens best.